All right, Shalom, call all y'all about Shalom to the left. Now, this video, I got a few links queued up. It's about UFOs, UAPs, unidentified area phenomena, and all this stuff that Esau been bringing out lately. And they're coming with this rhetoric that is beings or other creatures or whatever from another planet, or another dimension, or whatever they want to say. Because Esau not going to come out and tell you the clear and direct truth. Book of Ezekiel and other various books mention what's flying in these ships. The beings that pilot them, the dark-skinned angelic beings. They're not going to say they're dark-skinned angelic beings. They'll let you know there's green aliens or reptilians or any of that other shit. The narrative that they control. They can't control the power of Yahweh Shem Shah. So I got this video right here that was saying something hit the craft and they didn't do no damage to it. It's not going to do no damage to it because the vehicles are spiritual vehicles. They're celestial vehicles. They're not terrestrial vehicles like Esau like to make. They're not the same type of jets or planes or any other craft, submersible submarines or any of that other shit that Esau like to make. And I'm going to go to the book of 2nd Ezra real quick and mention how that video showed them attacking that, right? So you would think, okay, these devils wouldn't be so proud and have some type of sense to see something coming from, that's so-called coming from space. I won't say so-called. Something that's coming from space. Something that seems more superior. Why would you attack it? That's the pride of Esau. And that goes into what 2nd Ezra is talking about. Because Esau is going to try to attack and subdue the angels and Yahweh Shah when he come back. Now, I'm going to read 2nd Ezra chapter 13, then I'll go to the book of Ezekiel. I got another video queued up too as well. Now it says, 2nd Ezekiel chapter 13, verse 3. It says, "And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under. And whatsoever his voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. Now this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of a number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea." And see, the Most High gonna put the spirit on these devils and these heathens. They go to war with each other over there in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Which I ain't gonna get that precept right now, but bringing all the heathen, let the heathen be gathered down the valley of Jehoshaphat so the Most High can judge them. How you gonna judge them? They're gonna be going to war with each other. They're gonna be wiping each other out too as well. And then in the midst of that, Yahweh Shah gonna show up with angels. Because the war gonna go nuclear, it's gonna get nuclear. And he gonna have to show up to gather his elect, keep his word. Because the Lord is not, the Most High is not a man that will lie and be like, okay, I'm gonna put this word out in the prophets and tell them to go say this, and then it don't come to pass. No, it's gonna come to pass. It may take a long time on our time frame, but it's really not that long for real. Now, in verse 6 it said, "But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. When I have seen the region of the place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not." And that's how big the ship gonna be. So these other ships that Esau been seeing lately, they be big, but they not big how Yahweh Shah finna pop up. Yahweh Shah finna pop up, and the world gonna know. Now it says, "After this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight." And matter of fact, you know what? I said I wasn't gonna get the book of Joel. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that real quick. It's the book of Joel, chapter 3. And this is how you know the Apocrypha lines up with the other scriptures in the later edited King James Version of the Bible. Now it says, "The nations will be judged." That's the title right up at the top. So keep in mind what I just read in the book of 2nd Ezra. All these nations going to be gathered together, and they're going to get jacked up. Now in verse 2, it says, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel." The Most High and Yahweh Shah ain't forget about us. Even though our people will be in these conditions and go through what they go through, it was just for a time period, for a learning experience of what not to do and what we actually should be doing. Now that time period is coming to an end. And Esau know that shit. That's why they're so thirsty to get out of space and try to hide out and go wherever they could go at to escape this, but they're not going to escape this. Now it says, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And Salakia, some of them are going to escape because somebody got to build up the kingdom. You're going to have the ones that make it to their little bunkers or their space hotels and ride out this judgment for a short period of time. And then when they think the coast clear and shit sweet, the saints going to be right there. Scriptures mention that. The saints should take the kingdom. And it's going to be spiritual power. It's not going to be no way Esau going to be able to combat that. Verse 3 says, and they have cast lots for my people and given a boy for a harlot, sold a girl for wine that they might drink. And I ain't going to read on the more. I just want to get the main part about the nations getting gathered over there. Them trying to attack these ships right here and not really doing no damage. It just shows how superior Yahweh is to Esau. And you think they're going to let that be known to the world? No. They're not going to let that information out. Because letting that information out would mean that they're really not in control. The Most High is in control. And these devils have a problem with that. They want to have the control. They want to be the Most High. That's why there's cameras everywhere. They want to monitor everything. They want to monitor the money. That's why the monetary system is going to change. And they're going to come with the badge of servitude. Just look at this other video I had queued up. Now it says, right here in this title, it says, I heard my friend screaming. It's coming right at us. Air Force veteran Jeff Nusatelli, which it's funny, his name, Nusatelli, testifies before Congress on football size, Red Square UFO over Vandenberg Air Force Base. And just a little quick testimony, part of the reason I got even more into these scriptures, because I wanted to know what's going on, and it got to be more to life than what we know, because I happened to see a huge UFO the size of a football field. It ain't make no noise and nothing. It was a different color, though. It wasn't this color. And I was with others that could vouch for what I seen or what we seen. And that made me really want to read into the scriptures even more. Then when I came into the book of Ezekiel, let me just play a little bit.
These facilities were vital, and they were repeatedly visited by
book
UAP.
Of Ezekiel, the book of Exodus.
Each incident was witnessed by multiple
Zechariah,
personnel,
all these different
documented,
books,
investigated, and reported up the chain
book of Revelation.
We sent information up, but we got no guidance
so when the judgment take place,
how to handle these
the way
events.
the Most High gonna have to gather the
personally
elect up.
witnessed one of these events
and
and investigated others as they occurred.
Nuclear fire is real hot.
6
you have
other
people that think
service
nuclear fire
members
don't
have
exist and
provided
nukes
me
don't
with the
exist
information that I will share
because they want to
with
live
you
in this
today.
false mirage safety
The
bubble
incursions
that they
began
in.
on October 14th,
But the Most High
2003.
set
when
this
Boeing
up just so he can show his power.
reported a massive glowing red square
show who's really in
silently
control.
hovering over 2 missile defense sites. After several minutes, it drifted.
Let me get this video. So I can get this verse real quick. This book of Mark, chapter 14, verse 62, it says, and Yahushua said, I am, and you shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. And the same, just like in the book of Acts, it mentioned the same way you seen the Lord getting taken up, the same way you should come back. He got took up, and there was some angels with him. It was 2 angels. It says 2 men, but when you read the scriptures and use discernment, you know that those are angels that were with him. So the same way he got took up, the same way he came back. Let me get that just for edification's sake. Book of Acts 1 and 10, it says, so like, I'm gonna start at verse 9, it says, when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and the cloud received him out of their sight. And the cloud is talking about as a ship. That was just the terminology that was used to describe how it looked. Because sometimes if you look out and you pay attention enough, you'll see a cloud just sitting out of place. Ain't no other clouds in the sky, it's just one cloud. And they see lightning going through it, some type of lights or whatever. More than likely that could be one of these vessels.